What's up, gang? Hope you're well. A couple of you were asking me to look at this. It's Kevin Durant, Nas Reed, Alijah, Arenas, and more. Elite 1v1. These videos are always tough. This is Swish Cultures, Dashletics, Proactive. I don't know. They're always tough because it's typically a workout or at the end of a workout. So it's not like the 1v1s that we usually break down, but similar to what we saw in the Peyton Pritchard one, you can still get a lot of good stuff from it. And also, some of these guys playing 50% or playing 100% is pretty much the same thing, other than like the defense. So they still are efficient getting to their spots. They still do everything the same. Like the fundamentals and footwork looks the same. It's just like the physicality or like the extra fouls and stuff you don't really see. So it's a little bit different, but let's see what we can get out of it. Also, we're not going to see a lot of misses probably. They typically show like majority makes or like the highlights of the one-on-one on here, but they got a shot clock. I love playing with the shot clock, especially when it's like in workouts, workout scenarios like this. Let's just watch a couple things. I mean, Kevin Durant is just like a master of this sort of like ISO stuff, and also being 6'10" or 11 or 7 foot tall, super long arms, high release point, fades away. What he can get away with is going to be way different than what a lot of you guys get away with. But even with that being said, like his footwork is still like he still attacks with the top foot, right? Like his top foot, instead of pivoting with his right foot and just using his crossover step to make space, he steps with his outside foot first. It's not perfect, and like I said, most of the times it won't be perfect. Even when I play, like I don't do this perfect, but you just try to step with your outside foot first, then the crossover step now can do some work. But again, shoulders facing the basket. Does a good job winning this hand battle. Like he hit his hand away for like a split second, but then his shoulders, like he's not allowing the defender to get into his shoulders and guide him. So KD's just like going right to his spot and elevating. Like it's just tough. Like what do you do defensively? And honestly, he almost got a hand on that, but it just... Again, the hand battle, getting to the basket. This is probably the difference between like NBA players too. Instead of like you being able to foul them and push them out of bounds, they can win these hand battles and play through the physicality and still end up with a dunk. Is this Alijah here? Alijah Arenas? And we talk about that a lot. This is why I think attacking with your outside foot is so important, because he just avoids all the shoulder contact. When you go with the crossover step, you usually have to play through the contact, trying to beat someone, even though he steps with. Let's see what his footwork is here. Yeah, so he jabs. And then watch his outside step is where he tries to beat him. That's the foot that he's trying to attack with. Wins the hand battle. Gets his shoulders to the basket. I mean, just straight line drive. That's really hard to do. And then is still able to finish with a dunk. Nice. This is a good way to find out. There's a lot of people that can dunk in open space, but it's when you see like Brian Scalabrine did this in the video we broke down. When you see guys able to like dunk in one-on-one with contact, then you're like, oh, this guy probably gets in-game dunks as well. Gets to a spot again. He was a little bit more ready for it. Nice, good hands. And then, this is what I said. Watching pros play is going to be boring because KD, like, oh, you stripped me when I went 2 dribbles, so here's my counter to that move. I'm going to do 3 dribbles. And he gets to exactly what we talk about. Just gets to that high percentage decision-making area, decision-making box. He can shoot a layup. He can pivot back, shoot a layup. He can shoot a jump hook. He can shoot a fadeaway. Like KD almost always defaults to this little fadeaway. If you're smaller, you need to be a little bit more crafty. You need to have a fadeaway, have a baby hook, have those different finishes. KD can almost always do a fadeaway. The leagues I was playing in, I could generally get to the middle of the floor. Once I got here, I didn't try to mess around too much. I just jump and fade. If I was able to get like a little bit of a bump, just jump and fade. There's very few players in that league that were able to get to my fadeaway. If I was playing them, then I might mix it up a bit, but most of the times, just get to your spot. Work on the shot that you lab out. I've always thought if Nas Reed could add that, the dribble, the shot off the dribble. I mean, he's already like an elite player, right? But if he added the shot off the dribble, because he shoots it so quick and it's such a high release, he'd be a nightmare. And honestly, he'd probably be exactly what the Timberwolves need, because Randall is just not cutting it. Not when it comes crunch time. One dribble pull up. This is a player. KD is a player that's mastered he plays to his advantages. Remember how Beasley said it a few games back where he's like, sometimes God just made you better. Just use that. It's okay. I mention this a lot. People, for whatever reason, and it's an ego thing. We all go through it. I went through this, and it was something I always battled. If I'm stronger than the other person, I almost feel like it's cheap if I just lower my shoulder and body them the entire game, because I'm like, that's not fair. But then if I was quicker than the person, I could just go around them. Like I could just use one move, and if they don't react, go full speed. Or I could just try blow by every single time. And I'm like, well, that's not really fair, because I could do that every time. Elite players, and this is why you got to have that killer mentality, Mamba mentality, or just like you want to win so bad that you don't care. Like, don't feel bad for the defender. Like, if you can't guard me, switch. Like, that's on you to switch up. And you'll hear a lot of pros say this of like, keep going until they stop you, or keep going until, like, keep running the play. The NBA, this is kind of a default. Most teams will have like a set that they run. So not like a set that we typically think about back in the day of like, 5 players, you're going to stand in these exact spots, and then he cuts here, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. It's not like 6 actions. It's usually like, hey, we're going to run a horn set, which is like 2 guys up top setting a screen at the elbows or at the wings. And then the point guard can read that. He can go right, he can go left. But usually out of that, they'll have like a couple actions based on the defense, right? So let's say they're running a horn set. If you go off it to the right, and the guy that sets the screen flares out and gets a screen and can shoot a 3, run that same play again. And just understand that, like, if they don't switch up, if they don't change what they're doing defensively, we're going to keep getting that shot over and over. If they do switch up, you already have in your head, like, the counter to that. So just like our one-on-ones and having a move and having a counter, NBA teams, this is how they've changed. I mean, worldwide, this is how offenses have changed. But it's like, have more actions and reads rather than like a set where you get one specific thing. You still have those, but you just run that less. So start watching now at the first play of every NBA game is typically going to be like a handoff action, pistols action, or a down screen into some action, whatever. It's going to be some action, but they'll run it again and usually go to the next read, or they'll run it again and go to the third read. Or you'll see a good team playing a bad team, and they'll run the same play 3 to 4 times in a row. So yeah, that's a good way to look at it. KD plays his ISO game exactly like that. I'm just gonna go one dribble pull up until you show that you're gonna really, really do something to stop it, and then I'll do 2 dribble pull up, and then I'll do a 1 hard dribble left and then 1 dribble right pull up. Like, he gets to his 1 dribble pull up so easy because it's his advantage is his height and his shooting ability. Just play to that. Just play to that. Don't need to make it cute. Don't need to do anything fancy. Just do the thing. And then when people start overreacting to your thing, that's when the crossover comes. That's when the dunks come. That's when the highlights come. When you force people to overreact to something that you do so well, that's when you can make the highlights. People go about it the wrong way. They search out for the highlights and then end up on the bench. What move have we seen pretty much every time? Good D. So, yeah, what we're seeing is quick decision making, partly because there's a shot clock, which I like. But really, you're starting to see some habits, right? It's like majority of the moves that we've seen are full speed left, especially because they're in the right corner. But most of it is attacking to the middle, trying to get to this spot on the floor. KD stops short of that sometimes because he's such an elite mid-range shooter that's part of his mini game, is like, are you going to let me drive all the way to the middle where that's 9 out of 10, or are you going to force me to shoot this 8 out of 10 shot out here? That's kind of his mini game he plays. Everyone else, this guy here, sorry, I don't know all their names, and I probably should. He's really athletic, and look, twice he's gone full speed and dunked. So then his next move might just be a jab step, because it's like, you're already ready for my full speed dunk, like, and I'm quick and athletic, so you've got to cut that off. Now it might just be a jab step shot. And if you've got the shot, now you've got them in these 50-50s that are hard to guard. The guy with the braids that just went, notice how he's the only one that's really having to use like drive, step back, shot fake, up and under. He got blocked by KD. The next time he did it, he drove and then went into a spin. It's like he's a little bit smaller, a little bit less athletic. I mean, compared to the rest of the world, he's a freak athlete, but in the NBA, he's average. Average guys in the NBA got to have fundamentals. They got to play smart. Good hands. It's just watching KD. It's so easy because that's good defense. KD has this move better than almost anybody. This float dribble, because again, what has he been doing every single time? He's been driving one dribble pull up. So Nas Reed has to respect this one dribble pull up, which gets his hips turned. Now KD's gone to the right again, outside foot here, outside foot to outside foot, nice. But here, KD obviously can go full speed to the basket, so Nas has to start slowing him down here, and just that little push off, just getting your shoulder into him a little bit, is what gets enough space. KD doesn't do the Shea. He doesn't really get into them and push to create a space. KD just elevates and fades because he, like I said, he's 6'10". Like, he gets that space. For smaller players, though, that's why Shea has his way of creating space, which is more contact. It's interesting watching everybody's like slight differences. Ooh, nice, nice. Get to the middle, play off two. And so you're starting to see it, right? The younger players, they're not like, they're more fun to watch because they have more moves, but they're not as elite. It's not as consistent. It's not as efficient. So these two moves that Alijah does here, shot fake, drive left, get almost all the way to the middle. If the defense stays down, that probably turns into a kind of tough shot for him, but the defense jumps, so he gets this little spin. It's a really nice move. Then his next move turns into this reverse pivot. If Nas plays this perfectly, like, just make him shoot that long baseline jumper, and that's like, okay, well, you got a long two from the corner, great. It's like those slight differences are the difference between a guy that will be an NBA player. Alijah is 100% going to be a good NBA player, but the difference between him and a KD who's like, well, I'm going to get all the way to my spot, or I'm going to be at the 3 or at the mid-range, like creating, it's just those little distances, little differences in their game. Good D. You forget these guys, like Nas Reed is like 6'10". Playoff 2. Playoff 2. Honestly, do you think it would be interesting to watch NBA players play 1-1? I just don't think it would. What I mean is, I would like it because I like basketball. I like breaking things down, understanding why things work. But I don't think it would be more interesting or I don't think it would be more entertaining than the 1v1s, like the next chapter, Ball is Life stuff. I don't think it would be more entertaining at all. It's just good. Good basketball is not entertaining to a lot of people. Like, I would say for most people, like a kid that wasn't in the NBA, if I were working out with them or if I were coaching them, if they were on my team and I was coaching them and they ever did this, I'd be like, what are you, that's the worst shot. Like, why would you ever just give up? Just like go dribble one spot to the corner and pull up and shoot a three. Like, why would you ever do that? At this level though, as we've seen, this guy is super athletic. So it's like this is part of it, right? This is also part of that chess match. You have to be ready for me to dribble backwards and shoot it. That way, if you're always on your toes and ready to defend that, now you can blow by and dunk. Now you can blow by and get an easy bucket. So at this level, the thinking is a little bit different than whenever we break down our one-on-ones, non-pro, I'd say one-on-ones. Playoff 2. And there's two things going on here that are really important. A lot of people are going to say it's way less physical because they don't want to hurt each other. But that's part of the reason. But part of it is because it just wouldn't work the same. Like this move here. Like, even if Nas Reed is super physical, whoever this is, like, he's still protecting the ball. He's still protecting his eye. He still probably finishes. Like, if Nas Reed wraps him up like they've been doing in the next chapter stuff, like, it's still going to end up being a high percentage shot. And then guys would be like, Nas, what are you doing, man? Just don't get beat. Like, stop being weird. So it's just more clean. I wouldn't say, oh, they're not playing physical, so it's all easy. It's just more like, no, it's just clean basketball. Get that out of here. Oh, that's great defense. Again, there's levels, right? That little one-legged, that Dirk fadeaway right here, people have been doing that a ton over the last, I'd say 3 years. LeBron started doing it a lot. He does it differently. He just jumps off one leg and he's off balance and everything. I don't know how he makes it. But guys like taller players, Durant, obviously Nas Reed doing it here, but a lot of taller players started doing this. And it's just like, imagine someone shooting that, 15 years ago. People are just like, oh, this player is terrible. Like, what are they doing? But now that's like a very normal shot for NBA players. This wasn't even really a shot when I was playing. So like I never really practiced this. I do it sometimes. I might put a clip up of me shooting like a one-legged kind of fadeaway thing, but it was like in the moment it just happened. But these guys are efficient with it. Like they can, oh, if you let me do that, I'll make 7 out of 10 of those. The game's changed so much. Did that same move again. Like winning the arm battle, beating them with the outside foot, but defense is still there. He's got quick hands. He's gotten a bunch of these strips. I mean, KD's made an entire all-star career, championship career off of that move. Dribble to the left and then shoot, or dribble to the right and then shoot. And something you guys have been saying a lot, it's like, yeah, but he's 6'10". Yeah, but he's a 7-footer. Of course it works for him. Yeah, but he's also playing other 6'10" guys, other 7-foot guys, and it still works. At your level, if you're playing at LA Fitness, if you're playing at Gold's Gym, if you're playing in high school, you're probably, let's just say you're 6'2". If you're 6'2", you're probably going up against another 6'2" kid. That move is going to work. Just practice, do your thing. Just be great at your thing, and then build everything else off of your game off of that part, off of that piece. You don't need 30 different moves. You need one move and a counter. That's why you need a shot clock too. When you're playing good players, if they play off 2 feet, like, how do you guard that? These are those moves that I say I don't like, because he's putting he's exposing the ball. He's putting the ball into his right hand to move backwards when, I mean, what's the difference of just keeping it in your left hand? But the difference with NBA players doing this is, like, it's not the move. Like, Nas Reed didn't go, oh, I'm going to do this move. Nas did what we talk about a lot. Like, okay, you've made your move. You've created separation. Now, just what's the quickest way to get here? Just you've already created the separation. You've already done the thing. Now it's just how quickly can you get behind the three-point line and get on balance? That's all that matters. The technique and stuff doesn't matter. The technique matters when you're using it to set the defense up, when you're using it as a counter and all those sort of things. This is just like, get to the open space. Once you learn, someone put in the comments that watching these one-on-one breakdowns has been helping them a lot, because they're starting to understand when to use moves now, or when to apply these things. So a lot of trainers online are teaching you moves to put in your bag. They're teaching you stuff to do, but they're not showing you why or how it works. So this right here, trainers will see this and be like, oh, let's teach a spin move and pick it up with your right hand and step back to the three. Nas Reed did it. Looks cool. This move is going viral. That's what everyone's going to say. But it's like, no, it's the move. That wasn't the move. The move was just go full speed right? Yeah, his move is just a rip through to the baseline. That's the move. And then he counters with a spin. So now that he's got cut off by the defense, he's playing those angles we talk about. Boom. He's countering back to the middle. But instead of countering to the middle and going and shooting that one-legged little jumper we talk about, he just stops this time. Oop. Now I'm going to, instead of going full speed left, I'm just going to separate and get behind the three. So people will say that move is what got him open. It's like, no. It was the drive full speed right first and play off a two. Then it was drive full speed left, and then he shot that little one-legged fadeaway. Those are the moves. This is just like, this now is the icing on the cake I talk about, that everyone sees the icing on the cake, and that's what they go practice. You got to play those straight lines, play those angles. Then all this stuff starts to work. Notice that KD hasn't got into his signature float cross step back. He hasn't got into that yet, because he's setting everything up by just playing simple. He's going to put 28 on you before he needs to do that. So what was the difference in that possession? He didn't go full speed right or full speed left. He was just like float dribble, didn't blow by. So now he's doing a move, right? Now this is a move. This is what moves look like in the NBA most of the times. Cross, step back, nothing. The thing about the NBA that confuses us is Nas wouldn't have to pick the ball up here. He would just be like, oh, good defense, and he could dribble back out and try again, dribble back out and try again. Nowhere else in the world can you do that. That's why I just think practicing this type of basketball and these types of moves, it's just not for most people. Save that for the NBA guys. Or like I said, if you're playing 21 or pick up with your friends, use that there. Oh, 2 feet in the key, fade. I actually think this is a really good way for players to practice one-on-one rather than always starting at the top of the key in a scoring stance, because most young players, you're going to find yourself in this situation far more than you will with a catch and an ISO and not enough help side to get all the way to the basket. Like you'll find yourself in this situation much more. And it's good to practice your defense against this too, because it's really tough to defend someone going downhill. Having to live off that, try to play, if you've got someone who's taller than you and pretty athletic, you kind of have to play forward and backwards, right? You have to be a threat to shoot it on that pull-up. So dribble to the three-point line, be a threat to shoot. Dribble to the pull-up, the three-point line, be a threat to shoot. So now when you dribble to that three-point line, now you're putting him in a situation where it's like, okay, I've got to step up or I'm going to give him the shot. Dribble to that three-point line, boom, make your next move. If he kind of got here second-guessing himself, didn't know what to do, and he's waiting on KD to mess up, but a player like KD, he can just kind of react because he's long enough. Same thing, he's waiting on Nas Reed to mess up. He almost caught him. Same thing, waiting on KD to mess up. Playing against a guy like that, like if you're playing KD, you probably don't have the athleticism advantage. And when I say athleticism, I mean height and length is in there as well. So like you got to put him in it. You got to be the aggressor, which might mean dribble up, shoot, dribble up, make a quick move and go. But if you start second guessing and getting into these second moves, now it's like, I feel like if you've only got one dribble from here, I feel like KD has the advantage. Not saying it's impossible, it's just not very efficient. Elijah's doing way better in this one, the open court stuff. Do Reid and Durant get to do this, or are they just playing defense? Oh, here we go. Let's see what it looks like with KD. We don't get to see. I know they're only showing the makes or really good defense probably, but I wish they would show a bit more of the workout. I do get it because these guys are pros, and I've got family members that went through this, so I completely understand it. Like whatever you put online, like people are gonna over dissect and be like, oh, KD is missing too many shots, like he's gonna have a bad year. They did it with Tatum, if you guys remember that. Everyone was making fun of Jason Tatum's jump shot. It's every year NBA players put their stuff online, gets overanalyzed, then the season starts and it's like, oh no, we were just overthinking one workout. So but I wish there was more here for younger players to see. Like let's see a full workout of what it looks like. I think some of the best material online is some of Steph Curry's workouts, seeing how hard he works out, and seeing the amount of shots he actually makes in a practice is insane. Yeah, you're really just seeing the young guys here. Nice. Keep it simple. Oh. Catching fire. Nice. Notice where all the young guys are doing most of their damage. It's stuff off the dribble. Also, the workout's been going for a little bit. And that's the difference between KD and the rest of the world, right? Doesn't go anywhere. Nas plays good defense, gets a hand on the ball, and then KD's like, oh man, good defense. Wow. I'm just going to fade away and hit this shot from here, I guess. Push dribble, my favorite move in basketball. And then he attacks with the outside foot. Push dribble. Boom. Gets to his angles, step back. I think the only way to defend people like this, like KD, is right here. You got to do something there. Once he gets into that push dribble, like, you're cooked. I just think right on this catch, like he can't be shoulders facing the basket and going downhill. Again, the reason he's one of the best players, best scorers of all time. The only way to defend that is like before he gets the ball or arriving on the catch, trying to get a hand on the hit, make him face a different direction. But what do you set yourself up when you're doing that in 5-on-5? Well, now he can back cut. Now he can get a back screen. Now he can play off the ball. Now he can just walk you down and post up. Like, he has more options too, but I just think you're in a one-on-one scenario. The only thing you can do here is try to disrupt like this action here. Once he gets into this, like if you overreact, he crosses back. If you back up, he shoots it. Like once he gets into this point here, also we got to talk about these carries, y'all. This stuff's got to change eventually. It's impossible to guard. Once he gets into this, like you're just at his mercy. Now he just dribbles one dribble to the elbow, one dribble to set up the step back. Remember we were talking about this with Nas. I think it was Nas. Nas gets to the spot a lot, but NBA players have, like, he's already looking for the ball. He's already getting on space because he knows now, oh, I can just go into my shot. Like I've created space. I can just go into my shot now. Whereas most people that don't really practice this way of playing will take that dribble and then they have to do something else while they're gathering the ball. KD gets into his gather. He takes that step as he's going into his gather, goes into his shot, normal shot pocket, normal shot for him. Again, can make that 10 out of 10 times. 8 out of 10. We'll go 8 out of 10. Push dribble. Get playoff 2. Yeah, I just feel like watching pros play one-on-ones would be so... I've said it a bunch, but that's just my thoughts of how it would look. The young guys would be fun. Watching the, like, up-and-comers, so like the rising stars one-on-one would be super fun to watch. Maybe that's what they should add. Honestly, guys, did we just come up with a new idea for All-Star Weekend? If they did one-on-ones, I think 3-on-3 could be fun with the pros, with the All-Star guys, but one-on-one with the young players, because you also put in there winner gets $1 million or something, $1 million prize pool. Those young kids are like hungry for that. I know it's a little bit different now that there's NIL and most of them have already made quite a bit of money, but you're going to get like the guys towards the end of the draft that can still hoop. They're going to be like, I'm going to go win this $1 million. I think that'd be super cool. And the young players are more likely to play in it because it'd be their way to leave their mark on like an All-Star Weekend or be a part of the All-Star Weekend. I don't think many established All-Stars or Hall of Famers would really, I don't think they'd compete in one-on-one because they don't have anything to gain. Like Kyrie might do it. You know, a few other guys, like some exciting guards would do it, but I just don't think the best of the best would. And also, everyone keeps saying, this might be very controversial, everyone, for whatever reason, has just gifted Kyrie the crown of being the best one-on-one player in the league, but I don't think they're all factoring in, like, size. Like, he's also got to guard someone. So as much as I would love to see Kyrie in a one-on-one, and I think one-on-one ISO, he's one of the best scorers ever, one of the best ball handlers of all time, like, what does that look like against Giannis? Like, if Kyrie misses a shot, like, that's game over, right? Like, Giannis isn't going to miss. Like, you're not stopping Giannis. You're not stopping, you know, most of those guys. Anthony Davis, you know, Paolo Banchero. If any of those guys get the ball, I just don't see Kyrie just stopping them. So, anyways, that's a little tangent, but I've just been hearing a lot of the conversations in the one-on-one space now. Push dribble, hang dribble. Hopefully you guys are learning a lot of habits, like dribble moves that are really good at setting things up and giving you your advantage of getting to your spot and keeping it simple. They're not doing they're not setting themselves up with like tween. They're not setting themselves up with like behind the back or extra shot fakes and all this crazy stuff. They're setting themselves up with just like a simple move that's going to keep them on balance. It's going to get the defense shifted. Now we play off of that. Like, so it's one dribble to set the defense up, and then you've got two dribbles now to expose that. You can catch and shoot. You're dribbling, you push dribble out. You can drive right. You can drive left. You can do one more dribble now and get in there and play off 2 feet. There's so many options off of just simple setup. So more than just thinking what do I need for my bag. It's like you need a simple setup. Give yourself a simple setup and then have different counters to that. Again, for me, it was push dribble in college. it was still push dribble, but majority of my scores, I might put some clips up from college, but majority of my scores were just off the catch. So it's just like catch and shoot, catch and drive, catch and jab step. I did a lot off the catch and jab step. So I would do that catch and jab just to see what the defense was doing. So it made them react to me, and it allowed me time to read what they were doing. So I would like catch and jab, and then off of that jab, I might cross over, pull up, I might cross over, and if they reacted, I'd spin. Like I just had like a couple counters off of that. So have a move that gives you time to read the defense and then just take what they give, really. Yeah, these one-on-ones are really good for if you can get these, if you can get a workout with a group of guys that are at your level. Let's say a couple better than you, a couple that you're better than. Really good for like exploring and trying out different moves, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. If you could get these in maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, especially over a summer, definitely a game changer. Push dribble, hesitation, drive, push dribble, cross back, get to your spot, play off of 2. What are you supposed to do? Push dribble, still reading him, getting to a spot, pull up, push dribble, get to a spot, highest percentage shot in basketball. Oh, push dribble left, pull up. And now this is where, again, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony is a better example of this because he does the same thing, but even more so than what KD does. KD is one of the best scorers of all time because he has every move. Whatever move if you put KD through a workout, if you put him through whatever, be like, all right, let's do a double between the legs, step back, hesitation, redrive, one-legged fadeaway 3. Go do that. KD can go do it, but KD can also just shoot it. He can also just do a push dribble into a shot. He can do a push dribble into a drive, a push dribble into a cross into a shot. He can just do all these simple things, and then once you like see, okay, he's used this one move and has killed me 30 different ways off this one move. Then he goes, wait, I'm going to go left this time. And you're just like, ugh. So now there's like 30 more counters I got to worry about over there. That's what makes him so tough. The same thing with Carmelo. Like he'd hit you with the shot fake and then he'd shoot it. And you're like, okay, so when he shot fakes, he's going to shoot. Next time he shot fakes and he jabs and then shoots. And you're like, okay, he hasn't even dribbled. And I just don't know what this guy wants to do. Left. Shot. So then in your mind you're thinking, okay, next time he push dribbles left, I'm going to take away his shot. Hopefully they show another possession here. Push dribble right, and then it's like now no, I'm not going to go left, I'm going to go right, and let's play this game again. So it's like, I say this a lot, you want to be the type of player on offense that whatever the defense picks, they're wrong. Right? So if I try to beat you with my outside foot going to the right full speed and you cut me off and you anticipated that, I want to cross back to my left and be like, yeah, that's the angle I wanted the whole time. Or if I do that, if I go to the right and you don't step across, I just keep going full speed right. And I'm like, yeah, that's the angle I wanted the whole time. So people will say, how do you stop good players? You've been asking in the comments a lot, how would you guard this? How would you guard this? It's like, here's how I would guard it. And here's what I would force them to do. But at the end of the day, really good players, they probably have an answer for that too. Or if they don't have an answer for that, that's where I'd be like, all right, you're just going to have to keep shooting this step back 3 until you get consistent with it, because I'm not letting you do all the other stuff. Play a guy like KD, and it's like, yeah, you can force him to do whatever you want, but then he's got an answer for that. Steph Curry, I had a teammate that reminds me of Steph Curry a little bit, but Steph Curry does this to a lot of players where he'll shoot a 3 So then you get closer. So then he shoots a deeper three. So you get closer, shoots a deeper three. So then you're like, okay, I've really got to be up. He'll cross half court and do this. And then guys will jump. And then he'll just like go shoot a layup. Guys like KD, guys like Steph, guys like LeBron, like they just do their one thing so well that they make the defense overreact. And then they make players look so stupid because it's like, you get in your own head. You're like, I've got to take away his three. So you run full speed and jump as high as you can. Then you realize, like, I'm falling for pump fakes out at half court. Like, that's how good this guy is. Push dribble right, gets to a spot from behind the backboard. Oh, also, when you think like this is why at the NBA level, when it's like just take this away or just do this or just do this, just assume that when team defenses are guarding Kevin Durant, they're never thinking like, oh, let's just put our best player on him, because it doesn't matter. He's going to get to his spots. He's going to shoot these high percentage shots. The way you play in the NBA is like, okay, every time let's force KD right, and we're always going to have a help defender here, and we're going to leave open. What, he just got traded to the Rockets, right? So who's over there? We're going to leave Steven Adams. We're going to leave Steven Adams open. So Steven Adams, so whoever's guarding Steven Adams, you're gonna leave and you're gonna help early, and we're just gonna have to live with Steven Adams scoring. You guard guys like this with team defense. You don't guard them one-on-one. One-on-one, your job is to make him catch it out here, or make him catch it in the corner, make him catch it in spots where you don't want them to catch it. Once they catch it at the elbow in one-on-one, like you're done. Once they catch it at the three-point line with a closeout, you're done. So you don't give these guys closeouts. You don't let them catch in their spots. That's your job as a defender. And then you got to have your team game plan. Oklahoma City Thunder did this extremely well. And it's why the only teams that, the Nuggets obviously did well because Jokic is just a mastermind. But Indiana Pacers did well because they don't just have one guy that creates. You've got to play defense on all of them. So I mean, I think we've seen enough. You guys can go watch the rest. I'll put it down in the comments. There's a lot of little nuggets to learn here, but hopefully that makes sense. Like watching someone like Kevin Durant and then watching Nas Reed, you can see there's levels, right? Kevin Durant compared to Nas Reed, but then there's levels from Nas Reed to Alijah Arenas. It's just the way the NBA works. Like people will talk about Nas Reed like he's trash because he can't guard or do what KD does. And then you see Nas Reed against Alijah Arenas. It looks like he's just scoring on a cone. It's like the simplest thing ever. But then you watch Alijah Arenas against all the other high schoolers he was playing, and it looks like he's scoring on a bunch of cones. So there's definitely levels. Always try to keep perspective when you're evaluating players, because it helps you learn a lot quicker. Always try to think what it would feel like on the court, like where you would put yourself. It doesn't work for me as well right now because I'm older and out of shape. But when I was younger, I would try to think like, how would I guard this? What would I do? Not because like I thought I could guard it, but you do get caught in these situations a lot. And when you've already thought it through, then you already kind of have a plan in place next time you see it. So you might see someone who's tall in your league and plays like Kevin Durant. Oh, well, this is what I would do to this person. You're not going to stop Kevin Durant, but you might stop this other kid that's a high school senior that tries to play like Kevin Durant. So anyways, I think it's super important to think these things through if you're a true savant of the game. And this is kind of what it means when people say study the game, become a student of the game, like learn this sort of stuff and think. Like a lot of people just want to go watch things and be entertained. That's also okay, but try to find time for yourself to watch stuff, break it down, think why it works, think what you would do in that scenario, try to think what they're thinking, or why this setup is getting them to their spot. Try to think through it. And it will help you out tremendously, I promise. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.